Hello friends, I am Afifa and today I am going to tell you on the subject SST and the class is 6 and the chapter's name is King, Kingdom and the Early Republic. Now let's start. But wait, before that, please click on the subscription button and hit the bell icon. Now let's start. Now see, the first subtopic is choosing rulers. Okay, so as we all know that nowadays or since 50 years the process is going on of election. Through election or through voting we choose our leaders. Yeah, but have you any time figured out that how the kings of 3000 years ago were selected or were chosen by the people? They were chosen by the Jana. Jana are the people, okay, like now or anytime they are chosen by people. But how? Okay, so they also did sacrifices and many rituals. Okay, they did many sacrifices and many rituals to become the king, to become the rulers. Okay, so one of the sacrifice or ritual is Ashwamedha Yagya. Repeat once with me, Ashwamedha Yagya, or we can say horse sacrifice. Now I will tell you that what was the process, what happens in this. So the horse was let free to wander and it reached the another kingdom. Means from one kingdom it was let free, and so when it moves, it runs, it reaches another kingdom. Okay, so as it reaches the another kingdom, there are also men of the king, so that they can see that where is the horse going. So they follow the horse, but the horse they do not stop the horse to go that way or go this way. They let the horse free. Okay, just to see that where the horse is going, they are behind the horse. So as the horse enters another kingdom, there are also men in the border, at the border. If they stop the horse, okay, if they stop the horse to enter the kingdom, then it means that they want a fight between both the kings to decide that this kingdom will be his. And as we all know that after fight, what happens between two kings? So but if they do not stop, okay, then it means that they are scared and they know that the king from where the kingdom or from where the horse is coming is very strong. Okay, and then the king of that kingdom from where the horse has come is invited for the sacrifice. Okay, so and the ritual is done. But you will think that who all would be there in the ritual? Yes, I will tell you that also. So first of all, the main figure, the main person of that ritual is the Raja. Okay, who is the main? The Raja. And after that there are priests, we can say Brahmins, priests are there. And then there are the chariotries are the one who are always with the king in the battlefield, always witness the exploits of the king. Okay, those are the chariotries, so they are also in the rituals. And the relatives of the king, especially the wives and the sons of the king are there, and they also perform minor and variety of rituals. They perform minor, small rituals, but they perform many rituals. Okay, variety of minor rituals. And so these all are there in the rituals. And there are also other rajas, but the other rajas do not do anything. They are just spectators, means they just sit and watch the performance of ritual, what is happening. Okay, so now but there were few people also which were not allowed. They could not come in the ritual. And who were they? They were the Shudras and the women. Okay, so I think and I suppose that you understood how the kings or rajas or rulers were chosen 3000 years back. Now let's go on our second subtopic, and that is Varna system. So Varna system, what is this Varna system? So Varna system is a type of casteism in which the priest divides the group of people into 4 parts. Okay, how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Okay, so on the basis of their birth and their occupation. Who divides the people in group? The priest divides. And in how many parts? 4 groups. In how many groups? 4 groups. Okay, now I will name the group. First, on the first stage, who is? It is the Brahmins. Okay, the Brahmins. Now, what is the work of Brahmins? They are at the first stage. There will be very important work. Yeah, they have a very important work. Had a very important work. What was the work? The work was to study, to learn, and also to teach. First to gain, okay, and then they have also to teach up the Vedas. Okay. And they also needed to do the rituals and the sacrifices. Now the second stage. The second stage is of Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas were the kings and the warriors. Okay. They were also they also did rituals and sacrifices, as I told you. Okay. Now at the third stage, it is Vish or Vaishyas. We can also say Vish or Vaishyas. They were the herders, the farmers. Okay, these were the Vish or Vaishyas. As the Kshatriyas can do the sacrifices and the rituals, the Vish or Vaishyas can also do the rituals or sacrifices. Okay, but the fourth and the last stage is of Shudras. Okay, they were the laborers who needed to work in the mines, in the household, and they were also they need to work, but they were not behave nicely. They cannot perform any rituals, they cannot perform any sacrifice. Okay, and they cannot be the part of the assembly. They can do just nothing. Thus they need to do work and were the slave and to serve the 3 groups, means the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, and the Vaishyas. The Shudras needed to serve these 3 groups. I think you understood the Varna system. But there were few people also who opposed this Varna system. They thought that this is an difference. Why to create this? So there were different people who had different thoughts. Like few thought and few felt that there should be no difference, or there should be no difference between people on the basis of their occupation. So why should we do the difference between their occupation? And few felt that the Varna should not be decided on the basis of their birth. For example, at that time, the father and the mother both belong to the Brahmins. So the child which will be born, that will automatically become Brahmin. Few people say that this is extremely wrong. And few also condemned the untouchability. So what is untouchability? So untouchability was also a type where like hunter, gatherers, or laborers, or also the one who helped in burials and cremation were called as untouchables. I think that you know the meaning of untouchables, which were not allowed to be touched. Okay, these, the hunter, the gatherers, and also the one who helped in burials and cremations. Okay, so there were people who opposed the Varna system, and there were one who also liked Varna system, okay, and followed Varna system. I think that you understood about Varna system, and I can go on the next the third subtopic, which is Janpads. We can nowadays we say it Janpads, or earlier it was said Janpadas, but we say it Janpads. Okay, so now what about Janpads? So Janpads in literary it means Janpads, Jana. You can say Jana, Jana. As I told, Jana means people, and Pads means foot. So it means the place, the area where the people, where the Jana step and set off and settled there. Okay, means they settled there. So this is the definition of, means the literary meaning of Janpads. Okay. So that archaeologists have also found many settlements like Purana Kila in New Delhi, and also Hastinapur near Meerut, and more. So always remember that there were two, and there were more also, but the two are Hastinapur near Meerut and Purana Kila in New Delhi. Okay. Now this was about Janpads. Okay. Now I will tell you our next subtopic, which is Mahajan Pads. Okay, Mahajan Pads. So Mahajan Pads is like Janpads only. Janpads are there, but after few years, few Janpads, not all Janpads, only few Janpads became very, very important. Okay, became extremely important, and they were known as Mahajan Pads. What they were called? Mahajan Pads. First Janpads, and then a few became Mahajan Pads. Okay. So at the time of Mahajan Pads, the kings there were started to take taxes. But before that, I want to tell you that they also built forts, which is also known as fortification. Why was fortification done? So fortification was done, so there were two reasons. First was that people were very scared of the enemy, that they can attack on them. So the forts were built, because the forts were the huge walls, large walls made up of bricks and stones. Okay, so that the people inside can be protected. Now the second reason is, few kings wanted to show that how rich and how powerful they are by building such an impressive, huge and large walls. And there is also a third reason, and the third reason is that the people inside the forts can be controlled easily, and the control of king is very nice inside the forts. Means the king can control the people of the kingdom very nicely, which are inside the forts. Okay. Now I think that you understood that why is fortification done. Now the next of Mahajanpad is that the new Rajas started to maintain armies. They also developed the armies. The armies were regularly paid, and they were also maintained per year very nicely. Okay, and the army were mostly paid by punched mark coins. The armies were mostly paid by punched mark coins. Okay. Now, after as the kings needed to build forts, and as we all know that as they built such a huge fort, then they will need money. Okay, they will need some resources. As they build the money, because as they build the forts, they were not very small. They were not small forts. They were very, very huge forts. So for building those huge forts, they needed thousands, if not lakhs, of bricks and stones to build those. And if that was needed, this in turn means that they also needed enormous of labors. And the labors were not any other, but only the people, the women, the men, and the children of the kingdom. So as they work, the king has to pay them. So to do all this, and also he has to maintain the armies. Then also he needs resources there. So there was a lot of spend. So for that, the king needs to take taxes. So I think that you understood why the kings need to take the taxes. So this was the reason that the king took taxes. Now which type of taxes he took and from whom he took? Okay, so the first important tax, the major tax was taken from the farmers, because the most of the people, the majority was of farmers. Okay. and it was the like 1/6 of the production was to be given to the king. The farmers needed to give 1/6 of the production to the king. Okay, now the second was of craft persons. So what did craft person give? They didn't made something and gave to the king. What they did, that they worked as labor, not for the whole month or for the whole year. In 1 month, only 1 day, they need to serve the king. Okay, as a labor. Now second is of the trades. Okay, so the traders need what was sold and what was taken. These things was to be given to the half. Means what was the half? The profit which was given, the half profit was to be given to the king or Raja. Understood? Now the next tax was taken from the herders. Herders are the one who rear cattle and animals. Okay. Now what herders need to do? Herders needed to give the animals and the animal produce. Means they also need to give the animals, like as they need to give the goat, and they also need to give the things which they obtain from the animals, like milk, meat or wool. Anything they obtain, they have to give. Not all, few part they have to give it to the king. Okay, now the last is of the hunters. They have to give the what they obtain from the forest. Means they need to give the forest produce. Okay, now I think that you understood why the king takes the taxes, from whom he takes the taxes, and at what amount he takes the kings or Raja takes the taxes. Okay, so this Mahajan Pads is also clear to you, as I suppose. So now I can proceed to my next subtopic, and that is Magad and Banji. So that is Magad and Banji. First you will think that what is Magad and what is Banji? So it is nothing new. It is just that, as I will tell you, that Mahajan Pads are not only one or not only two in India. There are many in India. Okay. So but our Janpads or Mahajan Pads, as you know, that both are same type only. They are not only one, not only two. There are many in India. But I will not tell you about every Mahajan Pad. I will tell today only about two Mahajan Pads, and they are Magad and Banji. Okay. So first let's talk about Magad. What is Magad and all? So first I will tell you the capital of Magad and about the capitals of Magad. There were two capitals of Magad. First, it was Rajagiri. Rajagiri. I think that you understand Rajagiri means Rajgir. Nowadays we say it Rajgir, and it is located in, correct, Bihar. It is located in Bihar. So first, the capital of Magad was Rajagiri, present day known as Rajgir, located in Bihar. This capital was for several years, but after several years, the capital was changed. Okay, and it became Patliputra, and we know that Patliputra is nowadays known as Patna, and it is also found in, yes, Bihar. Now I think that you got to know that what was the capital of Magad. Now I will tell you that in Magad it was Ganga and its tributary flowed, and due to that the water supply, the water transport, and also the lands were fertile very nicely. Okay, the lands were fertile. There was water supply, there was water transport, because at that time, 3000 years back, there was no motorcycle, no cars, nothing like that. There were only water transport and few carts and chariots. So transport was, if there was water transport, then it is very nice. So Ganga and its tributary made it more important as it was Mahajanpad, then there were few reasons to make it Mahajanpad. Then this was also one of the reason that Ganga and tributary flowed there. And I told also what were the nice things that gave Ganga and its tributary, that it helped in water supply, it also helped in water transport, and as well as it made the land fertile. That's why the plant was grown and the crop was grown very nicely. Okay. Now after this, the Magad was very nicely forested. It was a forested place. It was a forested area. So due to that, elephants was also there. Many elephants were found there. So and the king and the men of the king arrested the elephants and trained the elephants for the war. Okay, and also trained them to carry logs. And as we all know that as there were elephants, then elephants made the warriors group army very strong. Okay, and from forest they also got wood, and through wood they made huts and they made chariots and so on. Now I think that you understood about Magad, but I would also tell you about the kings, the powerful kings of Magad. The powerful, there I will name you two most powerful kings of Magad, and those kings who always wanted to conquer, means win other Mahajanpads also, and those two kings are Ajata Sattu, first king, and the second is Bimbisara. First is correct, Ajata Sattu, and second is correct, Bimbisara. So, and they were extremely powerful and known as one of the most powerful kings of Magad, and they always wanted to conquer other Mahajanpads also. Now next Mahajanpad is Banji. So as you know that in Magad only one king ruled whole Magad at a time, means the ruler was only one. But in Banji there are several rajas. Okay, several rulers, and sometimes there are thousands of rajas also. It is amazing, but it is true that there were sometimes thousands of rajas who rule Banji. Okay, and they were in the form of Gana and Sangha. Now you will think that what is Gana and what is Sangha? I will tell you that. Gana means a large group of members. Okay, that group includes many members. Okay, so why it was Gana? Because that team, that group not only have one Raja, but that group of Rajas have several and thousands of Rajas. That's why it was known as Gana. And what is the meaning of Sangha? And I am speaking Sangha, but nowadays it is said as Sang. Okay, Sang. So what is the meaning of Sang? So Sang means that the association or organization. Okay. So now what are the facilities or what are the rules in Banji? So the rules were that there were lots and lots of rulers, so they did frequent public meeting, means the rajas were also there and the public, means the citizens were also there. Okay, so and they sit together and they debates and find out that what should we do and how we should do, like when any enemy attack was there, then they arrange a public meeting or an assembly where they discussed how they have to do what, because and togetherly they did that. Okay, together they work, so and that's what they always prosper. Okay, now but the second thing was everyone was allowed to come in the assembly. Everyone was allowed to come in the assembly, but the women's were not allowed. Even the dasas or dasis. Dasas means the men slave and dasis mean the woman slave. They were also not allowed. And karamkaras. What is the meaning of karamkaras? Karamkaras were the landless agriculture laborers. Who are the karamkaras? Karamkaras were the landless agriculture labor. Okay, they were also not allowed in the assemblies. So tell me that who all were not allowed in the assembly in Banji? Yeah, karamkaras, dasi, dasas and women. These four type of people were not allowed in the assemblies in Banji. Now this was about Banji. Okay. But there is one more interesting thing which happened, and wait, before that I will tell you that as you all know about who is Buddha and who is Mahavira. So the Buddha and the Mahavira, these both also belong to Sangha and Gana. Okay, Sangha and Gana. The Buddha and Mahavira belong to Sangha and Gana. Now I will tell you the interesting thing which took place. The interesting thing was that Ajatasattu. Who is Ajatasattu? Write in the description box. Who is Ajatasattu? Yeah, Ajatasattu was the most powerful king of Magad. So he wanted to conquer Banji. Okay, he wanted to win Banji. Okay, he wanted to rule on Banji. So for that he didn't just went and attack. For that he made a plan. He sent his minister Vasakara. What is the name of his? What was the name of his minister? To whom he sent? Vasakara. And where he sent? Ajatasattu sent his minister Vasakara to Buddha. Okay? To Buddha for advice how to conquer Banji. Then when Vasakara went there, then Buddha asked asked him that Banji held frequent public meeting. He asked that does Banji had frequent public meeting? Then when Vasakara said yes, they have public meetings. As I told you that in Banji they all had public meetings, rajas and public all together, they decide and debate. So Vasakara told yes, they have. Then Buddha when heard this, he replied that he told 7 conditions. How many conditions he told? 7 conditions. When Banji will follow these all, till when Banji will follow these all 7 conditions, they will always prosper. Till when they will follow, till that time they will prosper. Okay, no one can conquer them. And the 7 conditions were: first, in Banji, frequent public meeting should be held. Okay, first this happens. And second was that elders being listened, respected and supported. The elders should be listened. What they are saying, it should be listened. They should be supported. And okay. And the third one was that the woman should not be held forcibly. Okay, the woman should not be held forcibly or captured. The fourth one is that the wise saints which practice different religions should be which practice different religion should be respected, and they should also be free to leave or to enter they should be free to leave or enter the country. Now I will tell you the fifth one. The fifth one is they met and acted together. The sixth is they followed the established rules. And the seventh and the last is that the local shrines, chaityas, were in both places, as well as villages and as well as towns. So I told you the 7 conditions with Buddha told to Vasakara, that if they follow all these 7 conditions, then they will always prosper. Now, this was an interesting incident which took place. Now, I will go on the next subtopic. I suppose that you understood about Magad and Banji. Now, let's go on the next subtopic. And the next subtopic is Alexander. So, Alexander is I will tell you about Alexander. So, this topic is not mainly about India. Alexander was not from India. He was from Macedonia. He was from Macedonia, which is in Europe. Okay, 2300 years ago. 2300 years ago, when Alexander came from Macedonia, which is in Europe, he wanted to conquer the whole world. He had a very big desire. He was the king, but he wanted to be the king of the whole world. Means he wanted to conquer. He desired to conquer the whole world. But of course, he could not conquer the whole world, but still he conquered the part of Egypt and also West Asia. What part Alexander conquered? 2 parts. First is the parts of Egypt, and second is West Asia. Okay. So after conquering Egypt and West Asia, he came to the subcontinent of India through the river Beas. He reached till the subcontinent of India through the river Beas. B-E-A-S, Beas. Okay, but as Alexander wanted to move eastward, okay, but his armies stopped him, because he came with his armies also. So his armies stopped him. They were scared to go more eastward to inside India. Why? Because they have heard that the kingdoms and the king is very strong here in India. They have a very huge army. Okay. They have a very huge army and they have elephants with them, and as I told you that elephants help a lot in the wars. So they were very afraid and scared, and so they told Alexander that don't go eastwards please, and then Alexander accepted it, and then he changed his route and went another route to conquer the world. Now I think that I should stop Alexander, because this is the chapter not of Alexander. There was only a bit to tell, and I told you, and I think that you understood it. Correct? Now I would go on the next, means the 7th and the last topic. And the 7th and the last but not the least topic is democracy in Athens. So what is the topic? Democracy in Athens. So Athens is also not in India. Athens, because I am telling you this, because at most places in the world there were kings and queens ruling, but 2300 years ago, now we study about democracy. As you study about democracy, but 2300 years ago there was also a word in Athens, democracy. There was also a government which ruled as a democracy. There was also democracy there. So it is very nice to listen that at that time also there was democracy, but that democracy was a little bit differ from the democracy which is nowadays. So you would like to know that which type of democracy was at that time? Yes, of course I am here to tell you that also. So what all happened? What were the rules? The rules were like as followed that the men, not the women, not the children, the men who were up of at the age of 30, more than 30, at the age of 30, they were recognized as full citizens. Okay, the men who were more than the age or of the age more than the age of 30 were recognized as full citizens. There were also assemblies in Athens. Okay, public assemblies. Okay, frequent public assembly were there also. And do you know that in 1 year how many times the assembly was done? The public was also there, the government was also there, but how many times it was? It was 40 times in the year the assembly was held. Every citizen was allowed to come in the assembly. But yeah, citizens, any citizen can come. Every citizen was allowed to come in the assembly, citizens. But there were few people also which were considered not as the citizens, and they were the women's. The women's were the citizens, but they were not considered as the citizens. Okay, in Athens or in anywhere, as I have told you about Banji, Magad or Athens, anywhere, the women at that time were not considered as citizens. Okay, and there were also the foreigners. The foreigners also went there, settled there and worked there for that kingdom, but still they were also not considered as the citizens, and they were not given the rights as the citizens were given. And the last, there were also slaves in Athens. Okay, slaves were the laborers who worked in the mines, who worked for household and also in the workshops. They were not allowed to participate in the public assemblies. So who all were allowed in the assembly? The men, the citizens. Every citizen was allowed in the assembly. Who was not allowed in the assembly? The women, the foreigners and the slaves were not allowed in the assemblies. And who all were recognized as full citizens? The men who were at above the age of 30. These they were recognized as full citizens. So this was a small knowledge about the democracy of Athens. Okay, and I suppose that you understood this also. This was a very small topic, democracy in Athens, but I suppose you have understood these topic, Magad and Banji. Okay, because I am just telling you that this is the most important. In these 7, Magad and Banji, these both topics are the most important. And if you have not understand anything from any of these topics, these 7 subtopics, then I request you to ask in the comment box. Okay, and as I have told you that please click that red button of subscription and turn it in grey, and also hit the notification bell, and please like and share the video as much as you can. Thank you. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.